In this, actually, we are discussing how in how many different ways GM can be expressed. This is one way in saturation region. This one is linear region. And from the definition, you
Sir,
get
your
it.
screen is not visible.
Yes, somebody is telling something.
Your screen is not visible.
Not visible. Okay, sorry. Okay. Then now it will be visible. So in this, we
Yes,
are
sir.
discussing various ways to express GM. In saturation region, GM can be expressed in this way, and in linear region, it is beta VDS, right? So we'll see in future there are more ways to express. Once we slide change, then we'll see those things. The GM is proportional to the transconductance, as you can see from here. Transconductance parameter Kn prime, that is nothing but mu C ox, and to the ratio W by L. From this equation, we can understand this thing. Hence, to obtain large transconductance, the device must be short. This L should be smaller and W should be larger. Okay. For a given device, the transconductance GM is also proportional to overdrive voltage, that is VOV, VGS minus VT. VGS minus VT is called VGS minus VT is called VOV, overdrive voltage, voltage beyond threshold voltage, get voltage beyond threshold voltage. Okay. So note, however, that increasing GM by biasing the device at larger VGS has disadvantage of reducing the allowable voltage signal swing at the drain. What is meaning of this? If you want to get higher gain of a say CS amplifier, possibly you would like that GM is increased. GM say RO parallel RD, that is the expression. You will think that okay, I want to increase the gain. For that, you want to increase the GM. For that, possibly you want to go for higher VOB. If higher VOB is there, then what it is telling, the voltage output swing will be less. That is not desirable. Maximum output swing should occur at the output node. Suppose your GM VGS is higher, sorry, GM is higher, for which what you have done, VGS minus VT, you have increased. If you have increased this one, you know that your MOSFET amplifying transistor should be in saturation region. For that, its VDS should be greater than equals to this. Means if this value is very high, I mean this value is very high, obviously this has to be higher value. So maybe the voltage, so this is your CS amplifier and VGS is higher, VGS minus VT, overdrive is higher, then uh, VDS is VDS, or output voltage should be higher than that VGS minus VT minus VT. Okay, so say this is VDD equals to 1 volt. So if this is very high voltage, I mean say 0.8 volt, so leftover is only 0.2 volt to swing at the upside. Is it understood? So swing at the positive side, I mean positive side of the voltage. Here you are going to get what kind of voltage? Output will be like this, corresponding to the signal which will be connected here, maybe with capacitive coupling, etc. This 1 millivolt of AC signal possibly will be amplified by this amplifier, and you are going to get this kind of excursion. So to the positive side, leftover value is only 0.2 volt. Is it understood? So the swing, allowable voltage swing at the drain will be, or otherwise what you can say, it may clip. Is it understood, Prajwal, Prashant? Prajwal?
Yes, sir.
Is it understood? What is the meaning of the last sentence here? Disadvantage of reducing the allowable. I mean, increasing GM by increasing the BOB is not, I mean, while doing so, you must consider this point also. Is it understood?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Shashank.
Sir, increasing the VGS would result in decreasing of GM, sir.
No, if you take this case, from this equation, what you see? If BOB is increased, GM is not increased.
It is increasing, sir.
So you thought that I want to increase the gain because it is directly proportional to the GM. So to increase the GM, you have increased the VOV. VOV is nothing but VGS minus VT. If you increase the VGS minus VT, then see VDS value at this point will be higher. I mean, voltage from this node to this node should be high enough. Then only this fellow will remain in saturation region. MOSFET.
Sir, understood, sir.
If it is say closer to 1 volt, say 0.8 or 0.9 volt, then only it is remaining in saturation region. Then what is the value left over? Only 0.1 volt or 0.2 volt. So positive, the clipping may occur. Instead of getting this sinusoidal, this kind of output, it may be clipped. Is it understood, Shashank?
Yes, sir, I have understood that.
Okay. Now another useful expression of GM is this. Remember, this will be useful in future discussion also. That's why I'm repeating things. Sometimes you might have seen earlier, long back in first module. Okay. So GM can be also expressed as square root of twice mu n C ox W by L into ID, or this also square root of twice Kn prime square root of W by L into square root of ID. Okay. Now this also, let us see what is written for this. This expression, for a given MOSFET, GM is proportional to the square root of the bias current. That is what given here. At a given bias current, GM is proportional to this W by L. Okay, square root of W by L. To gain more insight into the value of GM, consider IC device operating at ID equals to 0.5 milliampere. ID taken as 0.5 milliampere as an example. Having Kn prime equals to 120 microampere per volt square. Then from this equation, what you can see that W by L equals to, for a W by L equals to 1, GM is 0.35 milliampere per volt, value of GM. Whereas a device with W by L equals to 100 has GM equals to 3.55 milliampere per volt. So with very small example, this has been explained this way. Now, yet another useful expression of GM. What can be written is GM can be written as 2 IDS by VOV. Okay, this how we obtain can be easily understood from here. Okay, so I'm not explaining those things. In summary, there are 3 different relationships for determining GM. Okay, using equation 4.66, 4.67, and 4.68. This is 4.68. If you go back, this is 4.67. Okay, here you have 4.66, right? All these 3 different expressions we are summarizing here. And there are 3 design parameters, W by L, VOB, and ID. Any 2 of which can be chosen independently. That is, a designer may choose to operate the MOSFET with a certain overdrive voltage, VOB, and at a particular current ID, the required W by L ratio can be found and the required GM determined. So yesterday also somebody was asking how to decide the W by L. Okay, if you want to, if you have certain things with you, ID and GOV, then you can manipulate W by L to increase the GM and hence the grain. Whatever discussion was there in the yesterday's lab in the night, something will be clarified in today's discussion possibly. Okay. Now the CS amplifier, the small signal model shown. Of the three basic amplifier configuration, CS is the most widely used because it is going to give you the maximum gain. Typically, in an amplifier formed by cascading a number of stages, the bulk of the voltage gain is obtained by using CS stage. Okay. What are the characteristic parameters of a CS amplifier? From the equivalent pi model, we shall determine the characteristic parameters of R in AVO and R. AVO is the open or unloaded gain, open circuit voltage gain. R is the output impedance or resistance. Input resistance is obviously infinite, that we have discussed, because there is a COX, no current, get current. Gain, sorry, output voltage is that current, voltage current source, GMVGS, into the output resistance, that is RD parallel RO, and AVO or open circuit voltage gain is BO by B in equals to this. This we have already discussed, so we are going far faster. Okay. Observe that the transistor output resistance RO determines the magnitude of the voltage gain, and RD is usually much lower than RO in discrete amplifier. Hence, RO can be neglected. You know, in this expression, RO can be neglected because RD is smaller, and for a long channel MOSFET, especially for a long channel MOSFET, it is very close to infinity. RO is very close to infinity. So, RO infinity means what is the value? If RO is considered to be closer to infinity, then what is the value of this parallel combination? Only RD or not? Yes or no? Smaller one prevails or not? In a parallel combination of two resistors, which one prevails? Effective resistance is what? Shashank, smaller one?
So the smaller value of resistance.
So AV or open circuit voltage gain can be approximated as minus GMRD. Okay, where RD is the drain current. You know, we have seen earlier here. This can be the said the drain current. Going further, the output resistance RO is the resistance chain looking back into the output terminal with VI set to 0. That also you have discussed how to find out the input resistance and output resistance of the circuit. So RO is this. Few observations about CS amplifier. Let us conclude that the input resistance is infinite. What we have seen here, the output resistance is moderate to high, kilo ohms to tens of kilo ohms range. Reducing RD to lower RO output resistance is not a viable proposition. It is not good, since the voltage gain is also reduced. Alternatively, if a low output resistance is needed, you should go for a source follower. This source follower, etc., I have discussed earlier in third semester. Okay. The open circuit voltage gain can be high, making CS configuration the workhorse in MOS amplifier design. However, its bandwidth will be limited. I mean, severely limited, because gain is inversely proportional to the GBP, gain bandwidth product. Now this is over. Whatever I have taken from, especially this summarizing things was good in Shadra Smith, so I took it from there. Now we are back to your textbook, that is Rajavi. The trade-off between the voltage gain and the voltage headroom can be relaxed by replacing the load resistor with current source. The observations made in relation to figure number 7.4b, the PMOS, current source. This we have discussed earlier also. Yes or no? Or you are forgetting? If you forget, then I have to go back to that. It is a current source. It is sinking current and putting into the node Y. Current, it is taking from VDD, putting into this Y node. The observations made in this relation therefore suggest that the use of PMOS device as a load of an NMOS amplifier is better. I mean, instead of using a RD here, earlier we have used RD. Instead of RD, we should go for a PMOS load. Okay. Why at all? That is to be understood. If you use this, then what do you get? What do you get here?
Sir, to keep
But
an
it
art,
is smaller in
get
size.
more area on a chip. So we
Yes.
need
If you take a, say, we have already seen that AV equals to minus GMRD, right? GMRD. If we neglect the lambda is 0. If we take lambda equals to 0 and we had a RD here, say in that case, this is the RD. We think that, oh, we can increase this and we can get higher gain. That intention will be there in your mind while simulation or designing. So if you do that, high value of resistance is going to take very huge space in the chip. Okay, for discrete maybe okay, but still it is better to use a MOSFET. If you do that, it's a small signal model is given here. MOSFET, see, this was VDD, and this side was VDD, which is because of AC analysis, we have made it 0. Okay, and the GM2B1 is voltage current source. So we have put it arrow up, and CLM is there. So we are not neglecting CLM. So arrow 2 is there. So this small signal model is understood here of the MOSFET load. This one small signal model is understood. And V1 normally we draw in this way. Yes or no, Shashank? Is it understood? The small signal model of MOSFET only you have shown here. And instead of properly drawing the small signal model, we have put arrow in parallel here in this one, the amplifying transistor M1. So now you see that it is a bias voltage, right? It is a DC bias voltage. So that should be shorted to make it 0. Independent voltage source should be made 0, and if it is a voltage source, that should be shorted. If it is a current source, that should be opened. That we have discussed or not earlier. Tripathi, are you there? Harsh Tripathi, Himanshu Shogra, both are not there. Okay, so if that is the case, what will be the resistance offered by this MOSFET load transistor? Tell me. If this
It has its own interpretation.
if this is to be shorted, so it is V1 is 0. So if V1 is 0, GM2 V1 is also 0. 0 means voltage current source is 0, means it is to be opened. So resistance offered by this MOSFET is nothing but RO2. That you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
This fellow is going to offer a resistance of RO2. This load, PMOS load. So by considering that this is our RD, right? Instead of RD, here we have used this MOSFET. So our gain is what? GM minus GM into RD. So if you consider R1 is having RO, means lambda not equals to 0, then RO1 is coming here. And you put RD, I mean, parallel with that. So RD is nothing but here RO2. We get AB as this. And R out is parallel combination of these two. Is it understood? Any doubt in this expression? 7.52 and 7.53?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, question is this, I mean, values of RO, RO2, if you put a long channel MOSFET, then possibly it is going to be closer to infrared, which is a high value. You know, in saturation region, if you can maintain it in saturation region, and then in that case, RO2 will be quite high value. Whereas if you put RD as a resistor, then that could take up very large area in the chip. So that is avoided. At the same time, you could get a very high value the AC resistance of this PMOSFET. I hope it is understood why you are going to go for PMOSFET as a load instead of a resistor, a passive element. Yesterday also somebody was asking that why don't we go for resistor? Why PMOSFET or current mirror, something like that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Your basic understanding should be there. What is the resistance? I mean, why this R2 is? It is to take care of the CLM. Okay. And if MOSFET is longer, then CLM is almost negligible. Okay. Or you can say that current in saturation region is almost parallel to the x-axis. Those things, if you can remember, then you can understand that the value of that RO is almost closer to infinity or very high value. Okay, with that high value, you can make a very good amplifier. Anyway, here is a example. You can try yourself. In some applications, we may use a diode connected MOSFET as the drain load. That was not diode connected, right? It was a current source, right? Here, it was a current source, and the symbol is also given here, which we have discussed earlier. It is going to offer RO as a resistance. Now, sometimes instead of this one, this was biased, DC bias is there. It is a DC bias, remember, not AC signal. Now, if you go for a diode connected MOSFET like this, sorry, here a diode connected MOSFET. Don't consider other diagram here. We have DC also. Forget about that. Concentration, pay your concentration here at this figure A. It is a diode connected MOSFET. So what is the resistance offered by this? Diode connected MOSFET is going to offer what resistance? We have earlier discussed, I hope, and if not, I'll go back to that and I will show you that this diode connected and MOSFET, which is being used as a load, drain load of the amplifying transistor. This is your amplifying transistor, M1. Okay. CS amplifying transistor, common source amplifying transistor. So this is going to offer a resistance of RO parallel 1 upon GM. Here it is M2, so let me put it RO2 GM2. Do you believe this, or you want that I should show you how it is going to offer. If you have forgotten, I'll go back. No problem. Because by heart, you have to understand this. You have to remember that diode connected MOSFET, if connected as a load, is going to offer a resistance of RO2, it's RO, parallel, it's GM, 1 upon GM, sorry. If you don't believe, then I'll go and show you. Tell me, should I go back and show you?
Yes, sir.
Don't mug up. Things should not be mugged up, okay? If you understand properly, because this thing we are going to use very much in future also. Okay, then I'll go back and show you where we have discussed. Maybe earlier also we have discussed, but I'll go back and show you. And here somewhere, yeah. Here the left one, this one is diode connected in MOSFET, right? Yes or no? This one is diode connected in MOSFET, and this is diode connected to MOSFET. Let us talk about diode connected in MOSFET first. So this transistor is operating in which region? First of all, what is the region of operation of this one? Saturation region. Okay. So now we have to see what is the resistance offered by this one, this transistor. Means looking at this drain node of this MOSFET, what will be the value of Rx? Okay, that is our point. So to determine the output resistance Rx, connect Vx. This is the small signal model of this one, NMOSFET one. This is GM1 V1, or simply you can say GM VGS. And RO1 we have put because CLM is there. And as usual, we are connecting here V1 or VGS. Okay, and now we see that gate and drain are tied together. See here, gate and drain are tied together. So this is obviously a small signal model of this MOSFET or not? Do you agree?
Yes.
Now to find out the resistance at node drain or value of Rx, you want to find out, connect an external source. The same way we have discussed earlier. And apply KCL. If you apply KCL, the current sourced by this Vx is Ix, which is nothing but one component of current is GM1 V1 and another one is RO1. I mean current passing through RO1. So that is Vx by voltage here is Vx, obviously, because this nodes are tied together, gate and drain nodes are tied together. Okay. So Vx by RO1 is another current. So Ix is the summation of these two current. That is application of KCL. From here, what do you get? See, manipulate it, you will get this thing. Or Vx by Ix, you will get equals to Rx equals to, you will get this expression. Yes or no? This is nothing but parallel combination of RO1 parallel 1 upon GM1. See whether it is obtainable. I have explicitly written every steps.
Yes, sir. Understood.
See, V1 is nothing but Vx or not? This V1 is nothing but Vx. Voltage, and this 2 point is nothing but Vx. So we have replaced V1 by Vx, and you have already Vx by RO1. So if you take common Vx, you get GM1 plus 1 upon RO. From here, you get this. Any doubt in this step?
No, sir.
Okay, then. So Vx by Ix equals to Rx equals to what? What do you get? Vx by Ix. You are doing nothing but manipulation. 1 upon this thing is coming. 1 upon this thing. So 1 upon GM 1 plus 1 upon RO 1. This is, if you manipulate, you get this thing. 1 by GM1 RO1 plus 1 by RO1, which can be written as RO1 by GM1 RO1 plus 1. So this is nothing but parallel combination of RO1 1 upon GM1. This is correct or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
If that is, same thing happens for the P-MOSFET also. If you analyze in the same way, you will get same thing. RO1 parallel 1 upon its GM1. For why? I mean, this diagram and this diagram, I have done it. It is also same. Understood? Notation I have used because it was M2. I have put RO2 and GM2. Right? So should I go back to that place where from we have come?
Yes.
So a diode connected MOSFET, whether it's a P MOSFET or N MOSFET, it is going to offer a resistance which is equal to what? It's RO parallel, it's 1 upon GM. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
We'll go back to that place and further discuss. Where we are there? I have gone beyond. Here. So this diode connected is going to offer this resistance RO2 parallel 1 upon GM2. Now we already know what is the AB of this. If you have RD here instead of this resistance, what is the gain? AV equals to minus GM of this one into RD. If you ignore the GM of this one, sorry, CLM of this one, if you ignore this one, then it is nothing but AB equals to minus GM1 into RD. This thing we have written earlier. So instead of RD, you can place this thing in this equation. Okay. If you ignore its lambda, I mean CLM, then you can write only 1 upon GM2. I mean, in both the case, this case and this case, or both the case of both the transistor, if you ignore lambda, that is lambda equals to 0, then you can write this equation. Minus GM1, this GM is of amplifying transistor, and 1 upon GM2 is this one. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we know GM can be expressed in this way. Did I see that earlier? That different equations of GM can be written. See, one of the equations is this. So it is GM
Yes,
minus GM1 by GM2. So we can get this expression. Okay, square root of minus square root of W by L of 1 by W by L of 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood. Now, little bit about the BJT based amplifier also. Of course, we are not going to discuss much more about this. So it has come in the way. So interestingly, the gain is given by the dimensions of M1 and M2 and remains independent of process parameters μn and COX and drain current ID. So it is very clear that it is dependent on only device length and width, independent of ID as well as its process parameter μn and COX. That is the statement. The reader may wonder why we did not consider a common emitter stage. Common emitter means BJT based. Okay. With a diode connected in chapter 5. We are not going to look back to chapter 5. We are just going to cut short here. In BJT, GM is given by your IC divided by VT, where VT is the thermal voltage. Okay, so proof of these are there with me, but we are not going to discuss at this point of time. Okay. So if that is the case, then what will happen? Minus gm1 by 1 upon gm2, and actually you are going to get gain of unity, right? So there is no much gain in case of BJT, whereas in case of MOSFET, if you properly size the transistors, you are going to get gain. Understood, Prashank?
Yes, sir, I have understood this.
Okay. Now, a more accurate expression for the gain of this stage in figure 12, this stage must take the channel and modulation effect CLM into account. We have ignored that earlier, right? In this expression, we have ignored that. RO1 and RO2 have been ignored. If you don't do that, then the resistance seen at the drain is going to be this. 1 upon GM2 parallel RO2 and parallel RO1. Okay, that is what R out is. R out is going to be this one. And gain is going to be this one. Is it understood? Shang, Tripathi, Shang.
Yes, sir, I have understood.
Okay. Himanshu Shogra is there? Okay. This draw a small scale model of this circuit if lambda not equals to 0. So you know this solution, this stage is like a figure in this earlier, but with NMOS device changed to PMOS device. Here, what is happening here compared to this circuit, this one, here the load was PMOS. Okay, or kind of resistor. I mean, connected in the drain of this is nothing but a PMOSFET, and this was amplifying transistor is amplifying transistor is NMOSFET. Okay, just reverse the case in this diagram. Here, the bottom one is the load, drain load of PMOS amplifying transistor. This is PMOS, where input signal will be applied for amplification. It is a PMOS transistor. Okay. Now, this, look at carefully, it is a diode connected MOSFET and MOSFET. Once again, sorry, diode connected, yeah, PMOSFET.
PMOSFET, sir.
Sorry, diode connected PMOSFET it is. As the arrow is indicating PMOSFET. This is also PMOSFET. Okay. This is also PMOSFET. So instead of NMOSFET, we are going to realize the circuit with PMOSFET. Okay. So it is diode connected because gate and drain are tied together. So it's going to offer the same resistance as we have discussed. Okay. RO1 parallel 1 upon its GM. And if you have the, I mean, you have not neglected the CLM, then RO2 will be here. So AB can be written in this way, same way. Yes or no? Minus GM2 of the this is of the amplifying transistor, that is this one, M2, and this is going to be the resistance offered by this, and this is the resistance of this one. So they are on parallel. For AC analysis, what happens? It is grounded. Remember that it is grounded. Okay. So this resistance is also going to be in parallel. Yes or no? Yes. Prashant?
Yes, sir. This is just the reverse case of NMOS, right?
A reverse case of NMOS, and hence gain is easily obtained in that way. Now, another thing is source degenerated CS amplifier. In the beginning, with handwritten PPT, I can remember that I covered everything regarding CS amplifier, including this source degeneration in 1 or 2 slides. Okay, we are now, elaborately discussing. So what is here? This resistor is added here at the source of the amplifying transistor, and we are putting here RD only for simplification, without any mass complication. So B in applied here is what? B1. If you apply the B in here, so a B1, and there is a voltage drop RS, and this current is flowing through this RS. So there is another drop across this. So B in equals to this voltage plus this voltage. Can we write this way or not?
Yes, sir.
So B1 can be written further in this way. From this equation only, taking B1 common, you can write B1 equals to B in by 1 plus GMRS. Yes or no? Look at. Can be written? Here we have taken
The same current is going through resistance. That's why we write this.
Okay, we are able to write this way or not?
Yes, sir.
So we are here considering CLM neglected, or lambda is 0. That's why we have not considered in this. We have not considered RO, right? RO1 we have not written. So let us go here. So KCL at output terminal gives us what? See, this is one current component, GMV1, and the V out divided by RD is another current. Summation is 0, which gives you, if you put the value, what do you get? Can we get this thing?
Yes, sir.
Can we write this thing? V out by B in equals to minus RD by 1 plus GM plus RS.
Yes, sir.
Because see, this one is coming how? We have already written V1 equals to here.
Yes,
V1 equals to, we have already written, equals to B by 1 plus GMRS, right? Same thing. In this place, we have written the value of, this is V1. Sorry, V1. This V1 we have put. Okay. Now, remember that this is nothing but AV, voltage gain. The voltage gain of this circuit with source degeneration is minus RD by 1 plus GM plus RS. This has to be remembered because we are going to use in future slides. Now, compute the voltage gain of the circuit shown in figure, this figure, if lambda equals to 0. So, this is what? Transistor M2 serves as here is a diode connected MOSFET. If you ignore CLM, that is lambda equals to 0, then it's RO2. Its RO2 is infinite, right? infinite. So parallel combination of 1 upon GM2 parallel of RO2 is going to be what? Is going to be 1 upon GM2 only. So this case you have to consider and take the value as this. So what was the gain expression for us of this circuit with RH here? What is the value? It was minus RD by 1 upon GM1 plus RH. There was a RH here, right? Yes or no? See this expression.
Yes.
So instead of RS, we have written 1 upon GM2. If you don't ignore CLM, you have to put this one also in parallel with this one. Is it clear?
Yes.
What happens if lambda not equals to 0? Obviously, this is the change. Should I go to the next slide?
Sir, it's already 9.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I wanted to cover it up to CS, but no problem. Next class, 2nd November. I have also another class. Immediately. Back to back. Leave the class and take other classes.